We are live. That's well. Before we press record, boy, now we talk about Jews and pedophilia. Like,
it's just a
those lighthearted topics.
It's just a lovely Sunday morning Jews.
No, I was talking about following kids through a store, talking like Herbert. Don't forget to stretch your cream hamstrings.
I said before, every one of us, Salena, I'm here with Lewis and Elliot, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, what they're good at. Elliot is very good at voicing a child molester. Boy, it's just a strength, you know? He accepts it.
Come back here, you fat son of a bitch. Call me.
Just do what you're good at, you know? Salena just sit there and look cute in the corner. That's what you're good at. Anyway.
Also with her latte, she's like, yeah, crack them jokes.
I mean, this is a creepy basement. I'm pretty sure this is where they did the Buffalo Bill scenes in Silence of the Lamb.
I can't confirm. No,
dancing with a quilted cloth.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard. I told my friend, I'm like, if Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus ever plays in a store, I'm probably going to tuck, drop, and just start doing that dance. Like, goodbye horses.
You want a quilted blanket while you're at it?
Oh, no. See, that was like a satin robe, and it might feel good.
Yeah. Well, so me and Lou got the good old Jack and Coca-Cola, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, honey, do you have your coffee?
And I have my, it's supposed to be a latte, but they just gave me coffee. So.
Those sons of bitches.
Just use my imagination.
We've had alcohol today. You finished off that wine?
Yeah, I've had some wine and I had a few beers. So.
Hey, bro, pass these to,
Salena?
Yeah.
I forget her name, too.
I mean, it's pretty easy. It's like, wasn't there a movie about that chick who was killed by the fan club?
I forget her name. It's just, I had a mouthful of Starburst. I was like...
Yes.
Yeah, my whole life has been a never-ending moment of Salena quotes. Anything for Salinas. Very popular.
Yeah, that's right. There's always an S. Salinas.
I got one time, someone was like, Salena, there's caca everywhere.
Just remember, if an overweight woman tries to create a fan club, run. Because she will shoot you. I killed my best friend.
That's fucked up. That's true, though.
I got some track me sneakers just in case.
Remember, run away from the border. Run away from it.
Well, it's good to start with some funny topics. So, yeah, because, well, I'm sorry, honey, like last episode at the end, I wasn't trying to get too depressing, but it was like, it's I love cracking jokes, having fun, but I just wanted to do a recap of a year, and we all see it. Like my mother just told Salena, we just had Albany 7 shootings the fucking past week. Like
true.
So it's like it's after a year of this bullshit and seeing so with taxes, unfortunately Al isn't here, but they gave I got a bonus check, Al got a bonus check. We were comparing notes, so I had a $3,000 bonus check. I'm happy, glad the company gave it to me. However, well, good old Uncle Sam was like, "Hey, Chris, well, you're not actually getting $3,000. So they took just out of me $1,000 in fucking taxes. So my bonus check was actually $1,995. Talked to Big Al, they took out $1,200 out of his. He's like, I didn't get a $3,000 check. I got a check for $1,800. That's what I actually fucking got. When
I want to check for $1,800.
I'd be very disappointed.
So,
I would be excited as all hell. I'm like, I'm getting new clothes, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and that's honestly, Elliot, a lot of situations with my life, I've always said that actually is like a glass half full thing. Hey, be happy you got $1,800, which I get that aspect. Yeah. Hey, I said right now, well, after yesterday, I have $1,900 more than I expected, but also I was, in a sense, expecting $3 fucking grand. That's still,
Right.
But it's just like, it's almost like, hey, someone's like, it's like, hey, Lou, you want me to buy a Coca-Cola soda? Sure, give me a Coca-Cola. I come over, grab the Coke real quick, drink half that shit. Here you go, buddy. And you're like, well, thanks. I got half a can of soda, but would appreciate the whole can since you offered it to me.
Nobody said being a responsible adult was fulfilling. Like, shit, oh yeah, my bonus check. You motherfuckers, responsible adult.
Yeah.
Right,
boy.
Like, man, I wish I could quit my job and get $500 a week in unemployment for 15 months.
Right.
And now there's states saying that they're going to pay people up to $2,500 depending on part-time or full-time for going back to work. They're like, motherfuckers, I never stopped working. Where is my extra money?
I don't deserve it.
Be right back.
I'm trying to find an extra job, and it's a bitch.
Yeah, and like I said before, like with someone like you or Salena right now, being out of work at the moment, like my friend Mike, who we down here one day, me and Mike were co-workers, and his wife says before, with the COVID and everything and unemployment, she started making more than him, who's working. He goes, I'm happy my wife's making money, dude. The kids are taken care of, bills are freaking paid. Awesome. You know, I'm glad that we're not losing money. But look at the premise, like right now, if you're making $500, $600, $700 a week off this unemployment shit, what's the incentive to go get a fucking part-time job at McDonald's or some shit, or like any place you want to work at, any retail job, when like, hey, we'll give you $12, $13 an hour, and like, hold up a second, I'm making more to sit home. So
right,
it's scary me. I don't right now. I don't fault anybody for that.
Right.
Well, I should go out there freaking, especially my job. Like, I get financially paid for this, but like, who wants to work a little crappy job dealing with retail or just ignorant freaking people, especially during COVID, and make so little fucking money where I can just, I'll just sit and watch Netflix and make more.
Sorry, I just want to eat this strawberry starburst that
You're
Lewis
fine.
gave me.
It's the shit.
He's got Starburst. We got Jack.
Right. Star Jack.
Yeah. Wait till Elliot's done. So, how's anything new with you, Lewis?
Aside from keeping my head above water, looking for extra work, and keeping my sanity in the best of my ability, splendid.
Well, it's good for me, like, you know, now that it's been a year and stuff, and we have, like, a little bit, it feels like a kind of a dynamic shift and shit, in the sense that, like, you know, getting the same people, obviously, and anybody that we're 57 episodes in, it's been hard to get the same people, so, but, like, at least now, for the most part, you seem to be consistent. Selena's done 2 in a row, which I'm like, awesome. Elliot's back again.
I already told you I want to be frequent.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool, like, going forward if I can get consistency. Yeah, I mean, whether it's
yes. I want to be a regular danger.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like, well, again, I think people, if they would like go through our entire catalog sometime and wonder if like that things are changing or something, or maybe we're not as funny, or just different voices. Like, hey, again, guys, everyone who's been on here, whether it's Carlton or Junior or freaking like my cousin Susan, my sister Jennifer, my sister Jamie, anybody's been here, I can't control people's work schedules, and people, and
right.
if Al has something come up, it's like, but I was looking at Junior at one point, did make a good point. I just uploaded our last week's episode today, but like it's been 2 weeks, you know, and people,
stuff happens.
Well, you know what I'm saying, if like anybody listening, though, if they get into the flow of things, they kind of want to hear you once a week or once or twice a week, or just whenever you put out. They don't want to. It is kind of like
sporadic.
What's disheartening for if you become a fan of something, if you have, hey, why haven't you did a podcast in 3 weeks for? So I'd rather just put out. Some people do get that consistency. Shit.
Right. I'm actually up to, you know, even though I'm, you know, part of the podcast, I actually, you know, also a fan. I'm actually up to episode 30 so far.
Yeah.
And definitely like what I've been tuning into.
Yeah, and I've always want to keep the same dynamic. I've said before, it's after a year, hey, everyone's got different views, different opinions, different even comedy styles, but, you know, we've never purposely tried to, like, piss somebody off or hurt somebody's feelings. And we can have, like, my brother-in-law Brian, I've been asking Brian, I told Salena this, I would keep texting him, dude, come over. He's like, I'm worried about some drinks flowing and shit too, arguments happening, maybe a fucking fist fight or some shit. I said, that's never been like that. And we're not, none of us here, like, I can't, like, Salena, I've been around her drunk. She doesn't get drunk and start throwing bricks at me and shit. Like, some people do, like.
Not yet.
I mean, I'm waiting for it, but.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's a good friend dynamic we have, huh?
Oh, man.
She loves that title. You know, we are friends.
Mm-hmm.
This honey jack of kilo is delicious.
Of course.
So, Elliot, I told Salena this outside because I love the funny shit, but all right. This came up. Here's a news article. Man erects a poop wall after property dispute with neighbor. Like off the bat says a wall of duty. A 250-foot wall of poop divides 2 properties in Michigan.
Disgusting.
Is it his or some? See, this is I don't know if that makes me fucked up. Like, is it his? I'd be impressed if it was.
I have so many questions.
I wonder how he
Oh, here it is.
survives.
The neighbor,
if it is his.
The neighbor decided to build. Okay, this has been a property dispute for the past 100 years, but the current neighbor decided to build one of his own out of his massively supply of cow dung.
Oh,
Whoa! So this says when confronted about the crappy construct, the unnamed poop perpetrator simply remarked, "It's not a poop wall; it's a compost fence." Jesus.
Oh shit!
it's not shit.
Exactly, Selena. Oh shit!
No, 'cause funny, 'cause
Exactly.
The neighbor, he said, "It's just a pile of shit."
Technically, he's not wrong.
No.
So,
But it's like you can get away with it by saying it's compost.
wow, this says Gattles.
Pretty much.
This says, despite the complaints, the officials are reportedly unable to tear down the disgusting demarcation zone as it's technically on the neighbor's property. Wow. So,
I mean, wasn't that what the argument was about to begin with?
yeah. So basically, he built a poop wall that was separating their property lines. So it was a 250-foot wall of cow shit.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if the one neighbor who was upset about the wall would have made some negotiations, it wouldn't have gotten that far.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
actually,
disgusting.
earlier I was actually outside, me and Selena, my mother, talking about billionaires and stuff and property. But yeah, Zuckerberg, who owns Facebook, and I use Facebook
robot.
myself. Yeah, really. Apparently, him and his wife just bought 600 more acres of property in Hawaii. Not sure why he needs 600 acres for, but
They do.
Okay then.
do you know how big an acre is?
Yeah.
Do you know how big 600 fucking acres is? Holy shit.
That just leaves all of those plants are probably going to get destroyed. The island already has issues with things like fresh water and all that. Hopefully, volcano erupts and just here you go, 600 acres of fucking molten lava. Put that on Facebook, you fucker. I woke up and there was 600 acres of lava. Just your average bad day. Oh, yeah, because, everyday people have 600 fucking acres in Hawaii.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Oh, wow. This man was
Melted back to community standards.
This man's a legend. Imagine a Long Island man dodges eviction for 20 years. He's been living in a house he doesn't own. So for 20 years, you haven't paid rent. God damn, man. A Long Island man who only ever made one mortgage payment has definitely used the courts to stay in his house for 23 years for free. Holy shit. So,
Teach me.
he filed 4 lawsuits and claimed bankruptcy 7 times to avoid being booted from his 2,081 square foot East Meadow home he bought for $300,000 back in 1998.
Wow.
So far, it's worked. Wow. 2 different banks and a real estate company have owned the 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home since he foreclosed in 2000, but he's still there. He's not the only occupant of the home leveraging into the U.S. bankruptcy code's automatic stay rules, which gives debtors a temporary reprieve from all collection efforts, harassment, and foreclosures.
I feel like that's justice for homeowners everywhere. Did you say your grandfather built a house from scratch? And
yeah, years ago, I actually told Celine the story about my father when I was a kid, because my father's from a Mohawk reservation, and he's like, he always say how much he hated white people and hated our government. But a prime example was my grandmother and grandfather years ago. They bought a house in Altamont. My grandfather bought and paid for it, built most of it by himself. And my grandfather, I was probably, his mom confirmed this, but I'm guessing 5-6 years old. My grandfather wound up getting testicular cancer. And eventually, not funny as it is, one of his fucking balls removed, and he's also was a military vet as well. So good thing how we take care of our veterans.
Right.
But because he was sick, obviously had fucking cancer, he got over it, but he didn't work for 6 months. Well, guess what happens? Good old fucking Uncle Sam takes your shit, takes your house. And Dad was like, he's like, Chris, one thing I hate about this fucking government, man. He's like, it's like your grandfather was one of the hardest working men I ever met, friggin' loving to death and stuff, and he put all his blood, work, and tears into that fucking house because you missed 1 or 2 fucking payments. The government's like, hey, it's not your land, it's ours. Because at least right now, because with sanctions and stuff, the reservation, if you own property on the fucking res, there's no mortgage, there's no taxes on the reservation. So no one can ever take your property. Here, it doesn't matter how much you pay for this house. This house, so once you're backed up enough in your payments or your mortgage or your taxes, no, it's ours. And even gets deeper than that. As I got older, I realized the fact that nothing any of us have right now is ours. Period. I don't even have my own son's not even my fucking kid. See, any kind of fucking agency could fucking kick the doors open, make some kind of legal mumbo jumbo, take my fucking kid from me because of like some bullshit. And it's deep, but yeah. So, but it was a point that this guy though, he kind of got of a loophole, Salena, because like he was supposed to be buying the house for $300,000, and he just basically has been living there for 20 years for free because he didn't pay his mortgage. So it's like he found a way to screw the system because like that was the point. He was supposed to be him buying this house for $300,000. He made one mortgage payment, and then but between fucking file for bankruptcy, doing his homeowner stays, all his little things, he found basically to live in his house for free for 20 years instead of paying his mortgage. Like that's kind of like that's one of the legal loopholes and shit.
Wow.
Yeah. So he made exactly one payment in 1998 of $1,600. That was it. And the whole time he's been dodging it ever since. So basically, he paid $1,600 to basically live in a $300,000 house.
I wonder how much work that took him.
Yeah, really.
Like, I wonder if it's worth it. Like going through like the lawsuits and.
Yeah, it's just. I mean,
I don't know the process of filing for bankruptcy either. Yeah. I assume that it's simple if he's able to get away with this.
Yeah, I mean, I did one to my head too for other reasons, but yeah, for the most part, they don't make it that hard. It's pretty fucking, especially if this guy's doing it 7 goddamn times.
Why work when you can just file for bankruptcy?
I worked with a guy who did that. He's like, I'm about to file for bankruptcy for the 3rd time. He's like, my credit's gonna be shit, but it's not like I wanted to own a house anyways. And I just stared at him. I'm like, don't you feel a little bad? He's like, no, I just keep getting credit card offers, maxing them out, and I'm like, I can't pay them. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was like, you have 2 jobs and you're just maxing out all these credit cards. You don't just toss them in the trash. You just accept every credit card and just go to town. I'm like, I called him Fred Flintstone because he looked like Fred Flintstone, like elongated forehead and everything.
I mean, they may destroy your credit in a sense for buying a house, but like it's true. So you could get like 10 credit cards, max all those fuckers out and stuff, or get a car payment or something or whatever you want to do. File for bankruptcy, and once you file for bankruptcy, wait a year. The bank, you won't get a house loan, but you still get a bunch of credit cards. So you can still get like 10 grand in credit cards and max them all out. Do the same thing all over again. It's like it's fucked up, man. Well, you know, like anything, there should be limits to how many times you can do that, but this guy did it fucking.
I'd say one. One, and then no credit cards, no nothing. Anything that you have to put money down on, like, no, no, bankruptcy, fuck this guy. Right. I want to own a car, nope, fuck this guy, bankruptcy. House, nope, fuck this guy, bankruptcy. How about kids? Bankruptcy. That's going to be your child's name, bankruptcy.
Yeah. So, this was interesting. This wouldn't affect Salena. She's the only person here, but a recent trend happened which confuses the fuck out of me. But this is people would expect. So, social media bozos claim that eating rotten meat gets them high. Okay.
Fucks up the brain too.
It's why? It's like eating shrooms. It's you're poisoning yourself.
Yeah.
And just eat shrooms.
The revolted trend dubbed high meat reportedly refers to any meat that's been stored untreated for months or even years. When eaten, this past prime protein is said to induce euphoria like a Neolithic narcotic.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Just huff paint if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
First of all, why kill an adorable cow and eat an adorable cow and an adorable chicken?
Because they taste as adorable as they look.
Why do that to yourself? But hey,
yeah,
that's people for you.
So
some people are weirdos.
So the internet.
That's got to be a gamble. I'm like, you can only do it for so long before you just completely destroy your stomach.
So of course, here's a guy on Twitter because again, people listen to Twitter when you want good expert advice. So this guy tweeted, a friend convinced me to eat raw, rotten meat, high meat yesterday, and it actually felt great. It's a very interesting thing since everyone would think it's crazy. They also tweeted a photo of the steak in question, which had decomposed into a veritable billowas of bacteria. So yeah.
That's twisted.
I'm going to be laughing when these dudes are in the hospital crying in pain because something is wrong.
Like, according to another post claimed, please eradicate the human species already.
Yes, yes.
Because
a tapeworm chest burster.
Yeah.
The stomach virus, worth it. Try it, guys.
They'll probably say it's like COVID or something, thinking it'll make them special. I survived COVID one. No, you fucker. It was food poisoning.
And of course, again, thing we have to listen to YouTuber because YouTubers, influencers, they're the one who tells us what to do since we're morons. But so in 2017, a YouTuber, I can't say his name, SV3RIGE, Sverige, decided to test this effect on camera by scarfing down a jar full of slimy gray steak sludge he claimed was a year old. Despite being acidic and hard to swallow, he said that it was definitely a high meat as he could already feel it. Ooh. So, of course, guy on YouTube says it must be true.
So, in other words, he came out of the closet admitting he likes slimy, disgusting meat down his throat. Okay?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, congrats, dude, for, finally letting it out, you sick fuck.
So, I guess, it's like side effects of anything would just be fucking up your stomach, your esophagus, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But,
Until people start dying from it, because look at Tide Pods, look at the shit where they put shot glasses over their lips.
Right. Like Salena always said this plenty of times, I agree with him with the whole fucking, I never thought that in my lifetime, the past even 3 years when I was a kid, I would say, if I read about somebody eating a Tide Pod or something, or somebody eating rancid meat, it's fiction. No one could do this kind of shit, you know? And then you start realizing, wow, this shit's really going on.
You heard the saying, anything's possible?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, except for these people to become smarter.
Yeah, so.
Mic drop, motherfuckers. I'm gonna eat Tide Pods. Why? Because someone on TikTok said so. Oh, sorry.
Foaming at the mouth and shit.
She is dead because the Tide Pods did, in fact, kill her.
You guys, because we've all been at fast food enough times, but I thankfully, I'll go first. I never had this happen, but anybody have a bad experience where hey, you bite into a burger or a taco and there's a needle in there or some shit, or something weird?
Thank God, no.
I ate a beef patty one time. This was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a bite out of the beef patty. I looked down and there was a dead little fruit fly in it.
Those Jamaican beef patties.
Yeah, I walked back into the store and I was like, "Do you see that?" And I point into the dead fruit fly in my beef patty.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Would you like another one?" I was like, "Nah, I'll just take $1.50 worth of chips. And I'll be on the merry way."
Of course, because it's Florida, because everyone loves Florida. But apparently, a woman, she went to Taco Bell in Florida, and there was a cigarette in her burrito.
Oh my God!
So.
What the?
Yeah.
Fudge nugget?
Cava Chalupa short 100s, please.
Was it smoked or not smoked? This makes the whole difference.
It doesn't say, but
Chalupa 100s.
If it wasn't smoked, then it's like, oh, somebody just wanted to give me a after burrito bogey.
Oh, fuck you.
Right.
They have lipstick on it too. It's just an additional fuck you.
So, of course, she didn't know if the cigarette's inclusion was sloppy or malicious. She did wonder how it could have happened by accident. I don't know if it was intentionally put there or somebody had it on their ear. Maybe they were rolling a taco and it fell in there.
So it sounds like it was a fresh cigarette.
Another thing I thought about was how did they not notice the cigarette in there? It says her infant daughter had already have eaten some of the tacos she gave her before making the discovery. Wow.
Oh, fuck.
Exactly.
Either that cigarette was put there intentionally or accidentally. That's not the point. I fed some of that to my 1-year-old daughter. Jeez.
Maybe the dude was too drunk or high to really care. It's like, oh, it fell out my ear. Let's see if someone eats it. Oh, that's how I imagine it happened. I'm probably wrong.
It's the menthol burrito.
Yeah. It's the racist menthol burrito. Check your privilege, Whitey.
Here, I'm gonna pour a drink. Oh, you gotta read this one. Actually, I'll let Salena read this because this is funny. But
want me to read it?
I'm gonna pour a drink.
Newport.
Check out this article. We've all been there, right?
Spurned woman who killed dismembered roommate sentenced to 23 years. What's spurned? I don't know what spurned is.
She's heartbroken, offended.
I thought she said spermed. I was like, how does that
You sure it's not scorned?
No, it's spurned.
Spurned. Spurned with an N.
She got a money shot? Spermed?
Killed dismembered roommate sentenced to 23 years. A UK woman was sentenced Tuesday to at least 23 years in prison for murdering her housemate who spurned her sexual advances. And then dismembering the corpse with a saw and stuffing the pieces in suitcases, according to a report. Oh my God. I just got a little nauseous just reading that. That's really gross.
Oh, I I got it. Spurned. Reject with disdain or contempt. In other words,
rejected.
No, with disdain or contempt, meaning like, yeah, no, you're fucking gross. Get the fuck away from me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm about to spurn.
I mean, maybe the moral of the story is if you're a girl and your lesbian roommate wants to fuck you, just fuck her. You know?
Garika Gordon, 28, stabbed Phoenix Nets, also 28, 4 times in their Birmingham home on April 16th, 2020. After murdering Nets, Gordon deceived her friends and relatives via text messages, emails, and voice messages that she had moved to London. When she was nabbed beside a quarry in Colford about a month after the horrific crime, police found the victim's remains stuffed into 2 suitcases, according to the news outlet.
Damn.
Days before she was due
You
to
beat me
stand
to it,
trial,
bro. I was about to say, damn.
Gordon pleaded guilty. She was sentenced Tuesday in Bristol Crown Court. Wow.
Only 23 years?
Wow, she was really pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Wait,
it-
Spurned.
is this Phoenix?
yeah, she was spurned.
Pretty and spurned.
I mean, women out there, if you have a semi-attractive lesbian roommate who makes advances, send them my way. I'll take one for the team, and they'll take one for the team.
Prosecutor Andrew
Lives
Smith,
will be saved.
so I'm really interested in this, said Nets had told a friend that Gordon had demanded sex with her and became aggressive when she declined.
See?
There's a girl here who keeps asking me to be sexual, Nets told a friend in a text on April 7th last year. I think I'm going to move back to London. It's scaring me, LOL.
Damn.
Smith told the court that Gordon made a call to the Samaritans, an emotional support charity, on April 11th in which she appeared tipsy. The clear focus of the call was Miss Gordon describing that she liked another woman and wanting to have sex with her, he said. At one stage, Miss Gordon said either that her loins were warming up or were hot. What the fuck?
Jeez. Well,
Her loins was warm.
now,
I would have warmed them up.
spend 5 minutes on social media. Women are never aggressive. It's only guys.
Actually,
The stereotype, yes.
lately there has been an increase in angry women killing men because
Jesus
they think
Christ.
men are the reason for all their problems.
Die.
Listen to this. Her
Very
cell phone was
deflective.
used to make internet searches including how to fix punctured lung,
Holy
internal
shit.
bleeding,
Wow.
and can someone recover from getting stabbed on the same day the court heard.
Boy. Another moral story, people, ladies and boys and
So
girls.
she tried to Google how to fix her own murder.
Also, if no one don't look at my Google fuck history. Like,
I mean,
once we're hitting, once we're putting pause this podcast, I'm going to look at my computer because if Selena sees the shit I've been looking lately.
She was like, what's gotten into you,
like,
Chris?
why is this guy obsessed with this Australian chick on YouTube? I like the accent. What is this show you're looking for? Don't question that. Don't question that. I like the story behind it.
What's the new thing where, like, you're looking up getting choked and handcuffed and spit on? Like, well, sorry. Things have to evolve.
Picture of Garika, she looks masculine, to be honest.
Never mind then. I'd have to roofie myself.
Nets, the girl she stabbed, is very pretty, very feminine looking, but she looks...
Who did the stabbing?
Garika.
The masculine one.
Which, with a name like Garika, like Eureka, you gotta watch out for her.
Yeah. Hopefully you're pronouncing it right and she's not in prison like, I'm gonna
Well,
get her.
once again, just hit the heart button on it, and that's how I go through my Twitter
Eureka.
news articles. I just heart it, and it's more.
That sounds like a humanistic version for Goro.
Yeah. Angry lesbian.
Actually, so you know what? Because I want everyone to be here, but let's finish that. But this is something that I was talking to her about earlier. That so like with Hollywood, because we were talking about like how Hollywood is and stuff, and how fake things can be, and looking up to these people. Thanks, honey. And I told Selena this kind of bugged me the past few days, and I want to get everyone's opinion about this shit. That like everybody here at some point has watched a Seth Rogen film. I know we have, and James Franco. They've like Pineapple Express, and Seth Rogen's been everything.
Right.
But James Franco's been a shit ton of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened like 2 years ago that he was, like a lot of people, he was accused of doing some kind of like sexual misconduct shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, he was.
So he's still been fighting that. Now it's been 2 years. A couple of days ago, and even Seth Rogen was making a joke with him on Twitter about that, about like roofing girls or something, or about assaulting girls. So, okay, because maybe being lighthearted because of the allegations. Now it's been a couple of years. Now Seth just came out with a press conference last week saying that, hey, as of right now, I'm no longer ever going to be working with James again and doing movies with him again. Mm-hmm. So you're thinking, all right. So I look at that as either two things happen. Either James was doing some shit and you knew about it, and now you're scared to get caught up in this stuff.
Or you finally found out that he has done stuff throughout the time.
Or maybe fucking too, like, you know, a lot of times is because I feel like Hollywood, a lot of times, it becomes a fucking more of a PR thing than a loyalty thing. Like in other words, okay, say for instance, Seth is loyal to James, said, I don't believe my friend would do this stuff. He finds you're guilty, now you're the asshole for defending your friend. And I wanted to ask everyone's opinion about that. Like, my thing is, I still would respect anybody, like, for argument's sake, Lou, you know, I've known you forever, but, you know, say we were friends for 10, 15, 20 years. If something came out where it's like, hey, Chris, like, this girl he was dating, whatever, Tammy or something, Tammy fucking accused him of raping her. And I'd be like, well, hold a second, I've known this man 20 fucking years. Nothing you'd ever say to me would have me believe that you were capable of raping a woman. So no matter what evidence and proof was out there, I still feel like no matter what, I would have your back. And I'm seeing like more and more with Hollywood and stuff. It seems like these quote unquote friendships and loyalties, a lot of it, like, how really fucking loyal are you? Because if somebody accuses your friend of something, accusations are accusations. You know, now
true.
My thing is, if James Franco is guilty and Seth would defend him, I would have said he was defending his friend.
True,
you know?
But like you said, but see, an accusation and actually being proven guilty, as we all know, is two different things. And like I told you when we was talking about Amber Turd and Johnny Depp, where she was going around saying he was a woman beater and all that, even though he's nothing like that. But and how I was saying when he was, you know, touring, going to do movies and stuff, there's actual surveillance footage where she was sneaking James Franco and Elon Musk into Johnny Depp's penthouse.
My thing about the James Franco thing, because I used to like James Franco. He's very handsome.
Yeah, he's a good actor too.
The allegations was he was running like his own acting school kind of with other people.
Like he was supposed to be producing and running it, where he's supposed to be helping out like people like learn how to do sex scenes or something.
Yeah, right? And all his students were women, and these, you know, sex scenes or classes, they were supposed to have like mouth guards over their genitalia and stuff.
Yeah, read about that.
And James Franco would remove the guards, and he wasn't really using like the protective gear that you're supposed to do. So like real quick, honey, remember like when I was talking to my father about this. Remember you guys ever watched the Underworld films? Underworld with Kate Beckinsale.
Of course, I got the whole collection.
Well, remember my dad we made this joke when the second one came out. There was a sex scene between Celine and the werewolf dude. I forgot his name. It's been a while since I watched Scott, yeah. But like they're obviously both actors were fucking naked and stuff, and he was doing a talk interview show about like how do you film scenes like that with Kate Beckinsale? And he goes, he's like they call it the quote unquote cock sock, where it's like you won't see the angle, but they'll put a sock or something over their dick, that way there's no worry
penetration
about
or anything
what Celine
that.
was saying, I've heard about that. Like they have like oral scenes, there's mouth guards, there's like during different scenes, like even full body scenes, you may have a cloth or something. So there are different things to help protect. Penetration. You know,
but my thing with the Seth Rogen thing is that I think there is a difference between being falsely accused and stuff, and you sticking up for your friend, and also like just not holding your friend accountable.
Yeah.
Yes. There's like a lot of like, you know, guy bros that have shitty fucking friends or whatever, and they completely like they would condone their behavior simply because that's their best friend.
That's true.
So I think that's kind of with Seth Rogen's case, because the joke was not funny. You know, I don't find the joke funny because those allegations did end up becoming true, but it was just so ignored, I guess, for so long. But it did get to a point where Seth Rogen couldn't really ignore the animosity that people were giving him for still being friends with James Franco. Yeah. So he kind of had to like disassociate from him.
Well, that's what they want to ask you then. Okay, so like I said, if for argument's sake, James Franco was found out guilty and these were just stories made up about him, if Seth would have stayed by his side, would that make him a good friend?
Well, Seth did stay by his side.
Yeah.
He did. And
until
I feel like
it was proven.
He was being a good friend, but I also feel like he was, you know, just inhibiting his behavior or also like placating the behavior by letting it go on. It literally got to the point where the public didn't want to deal with Seth Rogen either because he was still friends with James Franco. That's why a lot of people are like, it is too late. You should have held your friend accountable, especially when everybody loves you guys.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For argument's sake, if James Franco is actually like, you know, guilty and you knew about that, understandable. I'm just saying, like, you know, if it's like you're saying, if Seth is getting like a lot of backlash for defending his friend, I feel like if you are like I said, if no matter what anybody would say about Elliot, but social media people, I would say, listen, I know this guy for 25 fucking years. I'm gonna have his back no matter what you guys think about that and shit. And if Elliot was guilty, for argument's sake, say he was guilty of a crime, I'd say, okay, he was guilty, but like, I'm gonna back my fucking friend no matter what. And I feel like this is like that's just like the whole controversial thing. Like, how much is like it's like, it becomes a fucking PR thing. Like, well, if I don't dissociate myself from this guy, now I can't get new movie deals or new projects.
You can't keep making your podcast or whatever. So Seth Rogen did kind of have to choose between keep associating with his best friend public, which I'm pretty sure he still talks to James Franco. Their relationship just isn't public anymore.
It could be.
Because the public is just upset about it.
How did that sound like a good idea? I can't get past I opened up a sex school and red flags everywhere. It's like, really? No, because now they're going after porn stars for rape. And I'm like, wait, but your job is to fuck people. And now you're like, they didn't fuck me the way I want. Like,
it wasn't a sex school. It was like more of like a acting program with sex classes.
I would not. It's 2021. I'd rather get hit by a fucking car. James Franco, I so want to be there. No, hit me with a fucking car because red flags everywhere. I'm like, this is not going to end well. This is not
we definitely see that all the time. Hollywood and celebrities, they do things that all four of us would consider pretty fucking strange. So it's like, for me, yes, I mean, there's no way I would want to open up a teaching course of how to film sex scenes because of situations like this. But I mean, I guess none of us have really been on a fucking movie set. So like, how do you prepare? Because some movies have sex scenes. How do you prepare? Like, who teaches you this shit? Like, how to like dress and act and.
But the thing, all his students were women, He didn't want to teach it to a guy.
Like I said, red flags. Like, he opened up
maybe if he did, it would have, helped his argument.
And it's like red fireworks going off like, no, not going to end well. In big, bold letters in the sky. And he's just like, this is going to work. Like, no, it's not, Franco. No. And
I used to get him confused with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I thought that the text issues that he got caught with was bad. He was texting an underage girl and talking about sex with her. Like, when's your birthday? Oh, what are we going to do? It's like, God.
You want to join my acting class when you turn 18?
I promise there'll be a mouth guard.
It was too many red flags,
See how it's like right here?
Sorry, my penis sock fell off. You're pregnant.
No, but the next one, I'm going to have you read this one.
Oh, okay.
You're actually, you have like that kind of like...
My sock has no contraceptives.
Breaking news.
Yeah. It really does. Like you feel like when you read news articles, you sound better than I do. Like
breaking news, James Franco, his penis sock fell off. Congrats, half those women are pregnant. Red flags were ignored by everyone.
I just feel like this shows overall the Hollywood, there's so much stuff that you don't know about what's going on behind the scenes. But like, a lot of these quote unquote, like I was even telling Salena, like the Fast and Furious films, as fucked up as they are, they're funny or stupid fun. I know what they are at this point. I took Christian to see Fast 4 last night because they're doing up until Fast and Furious 9, every Fast and Furious film on Fridays called Fast Fridays. And for what they are, you know exactly what they are. It's just popcorn fun. Get a drink, get a soda, just sit back and enjoy your shit.
Right.
But when Paul Walker died, because Paul Walker's still in Fast and Furious 4, Vin Diesel made these social media posts and pictures and tributes and blah 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 of saying like how him and Paul Walker were close. But it's like, what's funny is before Paul Walker died though, you guys were never on display at all. You guys never fucking had a friendship, nothing. The second he fucking dies, he's like the greatest guy on the fucking planet. So people would say, how much was he your fucking friend? Or are you doing it for the damn publicity? Because before Paul Walker died, there wasn't that much with him Vin Diesel going around. Second he friggin' dies, Vin Diesel acted like he acts like those two were inseparable. And it's like, but before he died, you weren't. So
I like his.
There was a lot of controversy around his death.
Yeah, well,
a whole lot.
But the sad part is he was a passenger too, and that's made it even fucking worse, man. Like, imagine being the passenger, and like that's why, like I joke around, but like if I'm driving solo, it's one thing. If Selena's in the car, or anybody, when I have guests in my car, I take that shit super fucking serious, man, because like you are for all intents and purposes. Besides other drivers on the road, you're responsible for this person in your car, their lives and shit. Like Paul Walker died because of somebody else's negligence.
Right.
It was down to it was because he was in the fucking passenger seat, and the man died because his friend, who knows what his friend fucked up, made a mistake, the car problems, whatever the case may happen, you cost a man in his fucking life, man. Like,
Right.
Yeah, you're a really good driver, Chris.
I'll try.
You like scaring me though. The winter was horrible with you.
Yeah.
I was in a couple fender benders. That's why. So like, makes you nervous.
We're all family.
But no, all you guys, like, how do you feel about like loyalty? Like I said, for me, no matter what happens, whether it's Salena or Lou or Ellie, I still feel like I don't have like the best qualities out there sometimes. But one thing everybody knows about me, whether it's like Salena or my mother or my kid, anybody, I can't offer you guys $1 million. What I can't offer you is, no matter what happens, good, bad, right, or wrong, I'm gonna have your fucking back. Yeah. Because I was talking to Big Al about this. No, side note, the show Narcos. I heard about Narcos for on Netflix. I watched Narcos season 1 and 2. It's fucking fantastic. But it's like you see how much of a big person Pablo Escobar really was back in the 80s and stuff, and what he was doing with that thing. After he eventually fucking dies, they show the actual footage of his mother. His mother, even after his fucking death, his mother
had his
fucking back. And even if she knew this guy was like doing some of the shit Pablo was doing, I'm like, this has actually happened. But his mother had his fucking back.
She's guarding the tulips while he shot somebody in the head. You ain't got my money, bow.
Yeah.
Don't get the blood over the tulips, baby.
So I still feel like listen, whether it's you guys from anybody in this fucking room, even if you guys did this, if you guys did something like me and Salena don't obviously agree on every little thing under fuck the sun, nor me and Elliot share the exact same fucking opinion, or me and you, Lou, anybody. It's impossible. It's like, my thing is, unless you plan on cloning yourself, you're not going to find somebody who agrees on 100 out of 100 things with you. But what you should do is, even if like me and Salena might have a difference in music, or me and like, say for instance, Elliot, like I love Joker, he didn't like Joker. Okay, fine. But like, no matter what though, I got his fucking back. And I feel
absolutely.
Like, and I feel like loyalty in Hollywood seems like it comes with a big fucking dollar sign. Because it's like right now, you couldn't say to me, Chris, well, for $10 million, like, whatever, like, set Salena up or something, or for $10 million, have like just never talk to Elliot again, or just, it's like, you can't put a fucking
take the $10 million.
Yeah, that's so
true loyalty doesn't come with a price tag.
No, take the $10 million. Texting is not talking, it is reading. Texting is not talking, it is reading.
Because I feel like, especially in Hollywood too, there's a lot of people like people know me. Like most people in high school, I had 10,000 fucking friends, When I went to jail, I had 1,000 friends. When I came out of jail, I had 100 friends. So I don't have like a lot of friends anymore, because you see over time and status, and even jail, like or death or something, you see who is fucking really there for you and who's not really there for you. So I don't have a lot of people in my life anymore in a sense, but the people I do have, it said, whether it's you guys or just anybody, like, hey, I can't give you much, but like, I'm there for you no matter what. And like, I feel like Hollywood, it just sickens me sometimes how many people are actually proven innocent, but their friends, the whole thing with Johnny Depp, how many actors and directors and producers now won't even touch Johnny Depp, even though it's like, it seems like fucking 9 times out of 10, the evidence proves that this guy was a fucking victim, but nobody wants to touch him anymore. And like, that's fucked up how loyalty comes with a fucking price.
Well, he's slowly making a comeback. I think Johnny Depp's career is going to be revived after all this.
Yeah.
But his name's going to be forever smeared.
Yeah. I don't. So Amber Heard as well. I mean, I think neither of them should stop working over their personal relationship that happened in the past. Like, I feel like they do have the right to the privacy, but she did defame him over false accusations and
put cigarettes out on him.
Shit on his bed.
Yeah, one of them was she called the cops claiming that he destroyed her house.
Oh, yeah,
and then we see a video where the cops are walking in and it's completely fine. And
she gave him herpes.
Well, part of the one audio though, he was sitting there. The man was almost in tears. He was like, "Listen,
She suffocated his child.
He got chlamydia from.
But that whole 1 hour audio though, he says, except the man he's defeated, he's broken. He goes, listen, I love you, care about you. I don't want to make this public. Just go your way, go my way. He's begging her. He's like, please, I don't want to make this ugly. Let's just go our separate ways. Like, he was like begging her, like, hey, listen, I love you, care about you. Let's just be civil about this. And like Salena was saying, after they fucked a divorce, boy, she just every social media outpost she could talk about. It's all fucking how much of a fucking monster the guy was. And he's begging her, like, hey, listen, let's just go our separate ways. I won't talk about you and talk about me. That's it. And you just got to keep fucking laying into the guy, man. It's costing him work. And,
I think that was also her trying to gain something personally and selfishly. But yet, when you look at the backgrounds of both of these celebrities, he don't have a reputation of womanizing or abusing women or his exes, where she does, and got a police record for it.
I mean, womanizing. I wouldn't say abusing women, though. He dated a lot of people.
Yeah, but
They all have.
He's a good-looking guy. I can't blame him.
Yeah, they both have them.
Came out of the woodwork like, nope, he didn't abuse me. He
Well, see,
was
that's-
respectful. It just we.
He was
fell
just into
apart.
drinking, smoking, and that was it. But he never was an abuser. And all of his exes came to his defense when Amber Heard started saying all this nonsense.
No, it wasn't just his exit. It was also for like some producers, some friends.
Yeah,
It's like, so they got, like you know, there's a lot of guys out there are promiscuous, a lot of guys, but also Hollywood. Hollywood's a different fucking beast than what the Forest lives to. Who knows if like he's womanizer or he just kept meeting like a lot of fake Hollywood chicks. None of us know, but we definitely all four of us understand the fact that that's a whole different like lifestyle. Like these people. I mean, Britney Spears was a Federline or somebody dated a guy
Jeff
for
Federline.
or I forgot it was Kevin, but like
Kevin Federline,
one of her marriages was she knew the guy for a week and she was married. Like I love you, honey, but like after a week it wasn't like please, Selena, please marry me. I've known you 7 days. Like you know,
I think he was a dancer.
Wait a minute,
He
didn't
was a
she
long-time
cheat
dancer.
with Kevin?
No, that was what do you call it? Tabloids. I watched the documentary.
Because I know she was with Justin Timberlake for a while and cheated on him.
That was also tabloid.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, they're like childhood friends. They've been on
yeah,
like,
Mickey Mouse Club and everything.
Their whole relationship could have been just a sham. Simply
Could have been
because
so.
they're both.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, two pop star teenagers. Yeah, it would make sense back in that day.
And he did completely throw her under the bus when they asked her if he took her virginity. Like, you're around a bunch of guys, and they're like, come on, did you, Justin? And Justin maybe said, yeah, very low. And, like, once I heard the interview, and I'm just like, Justin seemed to quickly answer that just to get over
That's
with.
what guys are, because I never had a problem. Like, Chris, take her virginity? Like, no one wants to fuck me. But
We all took Chris's, though.
Exactly.
Wow.
Not me.
So,
Group effort.
I stay away from man ass.
But like, no, that's so premise. But Hollywood's a date. Their lifestyles are so different than ours. So it's like marriage to someone in Hollywood isn't the same as marriage to somebody who is not a celebrity. So it's like the thing with Depp is like I said, who knows what the guy? But like Lewis said, the bottom line though is until this happened, though, he never had any. On top of like all the charities he's given to, I've seen fucking different videos and like stuff he wouldn't post about how he's stopping the children's hospitals, hanging out with kids, being Captain Jack Sparrow. Like the guy.
Yeah.
Then I'm reading about Pirates of the Caribbean. Like the whole crew, the studio wasn't buying the fucking crew like Ponchos. Johnny Depp's like healthy. He bought the entire crew, like his own. It's just the guy's constantly spending his own fucking money helping people. And until this happened with her, this guy had a fucking squeaky clean record and shit. So
yeah, and then people are like, but he did terrible things to me too. It's like, I don't believe you.
I think he's such an amazing actor.
Yes.
Like, it's like so amazing to see him in a movie and be like, oh shit, that's Johnny Depp.
I mean, yeah, because he can go from Captain Jack to fucking Willy Wonka to Edward Scissorhands to just do
Sleepy
fucking,
Hollow too.
Yeah.
He was so like clean there. I like almost
I still wish Marilyn Manson would have taken the part in Charlie. No, have you heard his version of the boat song? It is fucking disturbing.
Well, I told Selena, like, you know, me and Dad talked about this years ago. Like Manson, I'm for the most part not into a lot of his music, but Dad would say, Chris, he's like, you know. And Manson did this himself later on, like the whole, like, you know, fucking, like, was it wearing fucking a titty dress and stuff and drinking blood and this and that. But he would say, like, a lot of the stuff is a persona. But Dad's like, actually, Marilyn Manson's first 2 albums, actually, take away the whole freak shit, listen to music. He goes, that fucker's got a really good band. He's got some actually good fucking, just like I said with Selena, with Lady Gaga. I won't lie, before, years ago, I wasn't big in her music, and she stopped at Howard Stern, and she got there 3 hours early and fucking rehearsed for 3 hours in his green screen. Then she did that tour a couple years ago with Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett's a big Vegas guy and stuff. And Lady Gaga, that woman can fucking sing. Like, I mean, but I kept thinking she's just some like stupid cliche kind of fucking pop star and stuff, not giving her actual fucking seriousness. Listen to her sing live and then sing with Tony Bennett. You're like, oh, this woman's she's not some like bullshit teen pop bubbly star. The woman's got a fucking vocal cords behind her. And it's like Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson, he's got a really good fucking band. His band can play. Them guys make some good music.
That's why I like Falling in Reverse.
He's talented. He's a talented motherfucker.
But for most people, they'll sit like you know, Lady Gaga. They see, like, she walks into a baseball game wearing a meat suit. You know what I mean? And she has like little monsters and stuff. So sometimes your persona does affect. It's like Marilyn Manson. Most guys wouldn't give him a time of day because the guy's wearing makeup, wearing fucking transplant, fuck that big titty dress. He's like drinking fucking blood between a vampire. Not everyone's into a whole big kind of goth thing, but when you break apart the guy's like, he's not his persona. He's actually fucking really smart and shit. Then of course now he's coming against fucking women rape allegations too. So it's like, Jesus Christ.
I don't believe any of it.
Me
I'm
neither.
at that point. It's like, you know what? Give me solid proof. I don't believe anything anymore.
Believe half what you see, none of what you hear.
But it is scary though. It's that, like, just overall for move on is like loyalty for a lot, at least people in Hollywood. You see like how much like loyalty or friendships or just like how much they care about you. A lot of shit is really just fake, and it's scary that people have prices. You know.
Well, why would you believe someone who gets paid to act?
Yeah.
Mic drop. Think of that, people. I would not want to be friends with someone who gets paid.
That's scary.
To be a convincing actor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you won a couple Academy Awards and like
I love theater though. It was fun.
Get back into it.
It's like playing pretend.
Yeah. Like I was saying, but some people they're so used to playing pretend that, like, you know, if they're very good at playing pretend, then they could very well pretend the fact that, hey, I love you and I care about you, and like.
Oh yeah, and gaslight. Yeah.
Or do you? You get paid to
Did you
say
say asslight?
I said gaslight.
Oh, I thought you said asslight. I'm like, that sounds worse than gaslighting.
That sounds like a new STD.
Ass-lightning.
You've been diagnosed with asslighting.
There's no cure. Your butt's fucked.
The blue part.
Did you say I'm just butt fucked?
Just click on the blue part for the article. This is especially. I wanted you to read this too. Here's a fun news article.
EU nations putting mealworms on the menu. Ew.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. And I was
Me
just
too.
like, fuck that.
The future.
Why?
The future is worms.
And 3D meat.
Earthworm Jim.
A microbar food truck owner, Bart Smit, holds a container of yellow mealworms during a food truck festival in Antwerp, Belgium. Ew, it looks like... You know those like little like brown crunchy things? I forget what they're called. You put them on top of like Asian meals.
Fried onion.
Those noodles?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They look like those. I don't know the words for them. I don't really eat them.
I think that's what they are.
They look like breadcrumbs or something.
Living breadcrumbs.
Egg foo young.
Dried yellow mealworms could soon be hitting supermarket shelves and restaurants across Europe. The European Union and 27 nations gave the green light Tuesday to a proposal to put the Tenebrio molitor beetle's larvae on the market as a novel food.
Yeah, in Europe, insects with like foods and recipes is like considered a cultural delicacy.
It's a beetle's larva.
Oh.
They're eating beetles' babies.
So then, should it be okay for a restaurant to have maggots? Those are fly babies.
Pretty much.
Like, hey, we sell those. Don't worry.
Now, the thing of course. So, did they say about the worms? Are the worms alive or cooked? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Some eat it living, some eat it cooked, fried, seasoned.
The move came after the EU's Food Safety Agency published a scientific opinion this year that concluded worms were safe to eat. Researchers said the worms, either eaten whole or in powdered form, are a protein-rich snack or an ingredient for other foods. Allergic reactions may occur for people with pre-existing allergies to crustaceans and dust mites, the commission said.
Wow.
Insects as food represents a very small market, but EU officials said breeding them for food could have environmental benefits. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization calls insects a healthy and highly nutritious food source with a high content of fat, protein, vitamins, fibers, and minerals.
Yeah. I've read about that even like when I was in prison. Actually, I would read stuff like Men's Health, Muscle and Fitness in different Time magazines during the prison library. They said years ago, like, you know, insects, like, you know, like most of us would never, we go out to a field and like wouldn't be grabbing grasshoppers and going into them. But like, for argument's sake, what if you went to the grocery store and like how you have a can of tuna fish or a can of chicken, you bought a can and it was grasshopper fucking meat inside the can. If it was already broken apart for you, would you be against eating like, you know, worms or grasshoppers or any kind of insect that was pre-processed for you?
Yeah, I mean, just like we've always eaten meat, we did evolve into eating meat. We're technically, I mean, there's theories that we were first herbivores because we live by the equator and, you know, we eat to survive. And the only thing that was really mainly around was bugs and roots and stuff. It wasn't really till we moved to other parts of the globe and had to risk our lives. Oh, sorry. And had to risk our lives.
And evolve.
Yeah. And that's how that evolved to be omnivorous. But I don't know. I feel like we've already eaten bugs before. That's how we evolved. I don't think it's a big deal.
I mean,
I already eat meat.
I mean, for the four of us, we're all Americans, and like I've said before, the things that like, well, me and Al crack jokes like we see the Chinese wet markets and stuff, and that like I've never eaten a dog. I'm not like in a big rush to eat a freaking dog. But like, hey, other countries will eat cats and stuff and dogs because like we're so used to the four of us here being indoctrinated to like chicken and fucking cows are the two biggest things we eat. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but other countries, them eating mealworms and insects are fine. To us, it's weird because we're not used to it. But
I mean, if that's their means of survival, I mean, if they have access to cows and they're still eating dogs and cats, I'd be like, don't you want to...
Rover, come near to my 20
use
piece.
some other options, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch Earthworm Jim make a comeback, start mascotting.
So if you went, I took you to dinner and stuff, and they had like a bunch of like fried cooked mealworms, would you be against trying the mealworms?
I mean, I tried. I probably already swallowed like bugs and stuff that I didn't want to anyway.
Yeah.
I think we all have.
I try it. I wouldn't say I put it a part of my diet.
But what if it tastes really good and you enjoyed it though?
I
don't picture it tasting good.
Lion King said it best. Slimy yet satisfying.
Yeah, but he also sang about how he wished his father was dead too.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I just can't wait to be king. The only way for him to be king is yeah.
Good point.
And he fucked either his sister or his cousin. There was only 2 males, Scar and Mufasa. So that means Nala was related to him.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Just ruin our childhood.
I used to, I remember the scene in Lion King as a kid where Nala is like rubbing against her mom and stuff. Like really like intense.
Fucking lesbian.
And the way it looked, it just looked so comfy. I was like, I want to do that to my mom. I had to be like 4 or whatever, but I remember going up to my mom and I'm just like rubbing my head in her bosom like a cat.
And then out of the corner of her eye, Chris is there recording like in real life, this is the wild.
And my mom, like, you know, she doesn't hit me hard, but she like tapped me like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, oh, I guess it's not normal.
Just like that. Lionesses do. Get the fuck away from me! Bam!
They did it in the movie. I thought.
Well, they also had
that explains a lot of things.
Same sex.
Right now in the bedroom, it explains a lot of things.
Oh shit!
Well, I mean, look.
I guess that explains why I'm dating a guy that purrs. So.
You like it now.
I mean, come on, they had a same-sex couple in there too. Timon and Pumbaa.
I thought they was just bros.
Seemed a little more bro-ish. When they were hula-ing together, I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah, to divert the hyenas.
I kind of got I mean, they were not around any other animals, so I'm like, what's really going on here, guys?
Want to read another one?
Do you want to? No, you have very good. Listen to look at this.
The P. Pfizer expects $26 billion in 2021 sales from the COVID vaccine. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm still not getting it.
Holy.
Look at those numbers.
That's a lot of money.
It makes you wonder if there's any kind of financial incentive to push this vaccine on everybody. Kind of makes you wonder, huh?
They lowered the age for people to get it from adults to children, so yes. Now they're saying that people are going to have to get a 3rd shot and boosters every year. So, yeah.
For free.
No, nothing's... See, I hate that free word. Because somebody has to make it, which means time and materials, and that's not free.
No, it's not.
So somebody has to pay for it. That money's coming out somewhere. Yeah, you may not have to fork over a copay, but 5 to 1, they're going to be like, we need to see your insurance card, and your insurance is going to get hit for like $500 or some shit.
Yeah, to think there's not a financial incentive
There's usually
in
a
this
catch-22 agenda and a lot of shit.
I know. Nothing is free. Oxygen isn't free. You know why? Because we have to keep plants and trees alive so that we can fucking have
right
oxygen.
Now, so Lou and I don't say them, but Lou and Elliot, have you guys got your vaccines yet?
Fuck no.
Me either.
You saw the look I gave you, right? I'm like,
they're saying that a large percentage of people are asymptomatic. So how do we know we haven't gotten it already? Because it's apparently no different from the common cold. The numbers of people who died are the same. I'm not saying that people didn't die or suffer.
All right, we'll take a 5-minute. She needs a smoke break, but no, because
we don't have to. You guys.
When you think about it, Elliot,
because
if you got a healthy alkaline count, it usually keeps you away from like any invasive bacteria or viral cells.
I get sick once a year, and the doctors keep telling me I'm so unhealthy. I get sick once a year.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm like, okay, I'm so unhealthy, but my blood pressure they're like, it's fucking perfect. Your heart rate is great. But you're overweight. I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, I can't see the extra weight on my thighs every day. I'm like, but I can still get up and move. I'm not like out of breath walking across. No, I walk up and down hills and stuff. Yeah. Walking up 2 blocks uphill. Yeah, I'm going to be like, fuck this hill.
You probably got good cardio level despite they're saying you're unhealthy.
Yeah, I am unhealthy. I will never say I'm not, but they're not like, oh yeah, you're at risk for a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, everybody's at risk for something.
True.
There's heart issues in my family. There's cancer. A lot of stuff is hereditary. Well, you have an increased risk because you're overweight. I know this. I'm smart. I know. Aren't you scared? No, because unwanted stress just makes it worse. What are you doing about it?
It's
well,
true.
I walk. I try to watch what I eat, but some days, I'm just hungry and can't stop shoveling food down my gullet because I don't feel full. But I think we all have those days.
Yeah.
Rare,
of course.
but
I'm an emotional eater. I feel like when I'm in a good mood, I don't even think about it.
I'm bored.
But when you're the opposite, you
something tasty.
You just like, yo, I'm having a bad day. That double cheeseburger's looking good as fuck.
Yeah, it's like my life sucks. At least food tastes good. At least something is good.
I keep hanging out with you. Keep eating more and more food like around me for some reason. Like she's really fucking depressed.
I don't eat a lot.
It's like Chris. We haven't talked for 2 weeks. I dropped 10 pounds. I'm like motherfucker.
Listen, well, the barbecue was yesterday. I ate a lot during the barbecue because I bought all these different veggie stuff. I tried veggie bratwurst.
I was so proud of her. Like I told Al when Al was supposed to come down, I said, Al, I'm proud of Salena. I really am. We stopped at McDonald's. I just wasn't mood to eat something. Selena got a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I did.
And she got a spicy chicken sandwich. And
that was the first burger. I didn't finish chicken sandwich. It was
see,
so good. I wanted to, but
I know the temptations for real.
It's so beautiful seeing like someone who's so vegan just bite into a delicious cow and just hear it screaming. That spicy
it was all right.
chicken.
It was good.
It was.
She been into his yelling, traitor!
Yeah, my dad's been all over the place since I moved back with my family. My mom's a really good cook, and my brother's a really good cook.
Mm-hmm.
And
her family can cook. They made some good food yesterday. Not gonna lie.
They make all kinds of food,
and they kept offering me more. Chris, eat more, and I'm like, listen, some people, not your daughter, but some people like losing weight, and it's like some people are on. Like, take care of them. I can't eat.
Okay, you lose 30 pounds.
It's 28, but
okay. Congratulations. I wish fat 10-year-long Chris could have seen you now.
I wish Mark 10 years ago would see Mark now.
I have some pictures I'm so ashamed of. Like
10 years ago, Mark at least had money for food in his pocket.
Earlier she asked me, Chris, you know anybody with freckles? I'm like, I know somebody with freckles who's got like 10,000 of them.
I don't know if you can call him someone, as that humanizes him.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
He's more like a human naked mole rat troglodyte hybrid.
Jesus Christ, man.
Like through the standard part of the week, Monday through Friday, I'm like on a strict like routine diet, but on the weekends that's my cheat day. Like if you're around me Monday through Friday or even one of the days, it's like you're seeing a completely different person. But when it's on the weekends, I'll be like, yo, grab me those Fritos.
Yeah. About my diet, it died. So it's kind of like,
well, it's good that we
you can eat buffet every day for me.
We were watching Invincible last night. We were sharing like friggin' the French onion dip and the chips, which is so like I have to like with certain.
I haven't had that in forever too. That's one thing that's fun. It's like I eat things I haven't eaten in so long, and I'm just like,
would you ever feel like I feel like certain movies and TV shows like Invincible's a good show. Like I was watching episode 7, which is pretty good, but episode 8, I get this thing where it's like
what the fuck was that?
Probably the cat knocking down something.
Yeah. I had this mental state where it's like, hey, episode 8's a finale, but as I'm going to watch the finale, I need to like eat something when I'm enjoying this shit. So we would sit there, and, like, I'm eating chips and stuff.
Dude, he eats until there is nothing left.
I don't know.
Like, don't get me wrong, congratulations, you lost 30 pounds, but you eat you
like there's no end.
It's because of the munchies.
You are starving.
Sounds about right.
I don't know how much it was. What, a gallon? Was it a full gallon of sherbet? I don't know how much sherbet he gave me, but it was a big ass thing of sherbet because my belly hurted, and I was eating the sherbet until I felt better. I maybe had like 8 bites. I give him the rest, and he just keeps eating it and eating it. And eating it and giggling like he's giggling now while he's eating it.
I can see it too.
Until it was gone. And I'm just like, good thing my belly doesn't hurt anymore because
I just caught the whole
more sherbet.
I just caught the whole visual. You grilling him while he's stuffing himself with sherbet, and on the TV you seeing think.
He does it every time. And then with the chips and dip, I get, eat some chips, and then he'll just do the same thing with the chips. Just keep eating.
He's like, you tell him, Omni Man.
Until the container is completely empty.
Right.
I'm surprised he doesn't lick it clean. But
why do you think she gives you the food? Because she doesn't want to eat anymore.
That's true. I should give you all the food I eat.
Fucking munchies.
Exactly,
it's not
bro.
my fault.
The munchie.
I've never seen a man eat that much.
Jesus,
anything is possible.
I mean, I've heard stories about Mark wanting to get
subs
at the party.
I won't lie. When we had some fucking edible gummies and stuff, some edible gummies are a couple of hits. Like, yeah.
Oh, that makes you want to eat the cabinet itself with the food in it.
The things I can put in my body wouldn't expect the human body to.
Oh my god, the barbecue. He had 4 hamburgers, 2 hot dogs, a giant plate of potato salad. What else? I know I'm missing something. I think I'm missing like 2 plates of food.
She's not lying.
Place whatever edible product under sentence line. That's what he ate.
It's like, I'll take what
enough of the fucking munchies, okay? It's embarrassing.
It's making him hungry.
James Franco porn class.
Here. All right. Speaking of food, like, I can't read this because Selena has to read this part because I can't stop laughing. Elliot's
incredibly intoxicated man shot and barbecued his dog. Cops.
I don't know.
Please tell me it was in Florida.
She made that article sound like a Friday After Dark. I'm like, what the hell? Are we reading a horror story or an adult film?
Russian
what the
name.
hell?
So, forgive me for mispronouncing it. It's Russian.
Fuck, man.
Nikolai Lukianichev, whatever it is, was charged with aggravated cruelty to animals and discharging a firearm into an occupied structure, among other charges. An incredibly intoxicated Pennsylvania man shot his dog and grilled the animal in a fire pit in his front yard, authority says. Oh my god. And wasn't that past shooting wasn't that shooting this past winter in Pennsylvania too? That couple that got shot over like snow?
I talk about it like fucking Elliot doing the voice of Nikolai. Nikolai eats his dog.
Pennsylvania.
The s'mores are gone.
Russia, you dog eat. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Cops found a burning fire pit and a couch in flames in the front yard, police said. Once the fire was under control, patrol observed an unknown animal badly burned and charred on top of a small metal charcoal grill. It was later learned the animal was his dog.
Jesus Christ.
I fed dog, now dog feed me.
Did they say what kind of... I'm glad I didn't pick up my drink.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody figured it out because I'm like, I gotta think of a Soviet Russia.
Leg was
Elliot
good, extra crispy.
If he dies, he dies.
Fuck, my couch burned.
Lukianikov was incredibly intoxicated at the time and unable to speak.
Did they say what kind of dog it was?
I don't know. They didn't mention the breed.
Russian Husky.
He was also dousing $100 bills with lighter fluid and burning them in the metal fire pit, which was topped with a barbecue grate where his pooch was cooked.
Jesus Christ.
Rotisserie Greyhound.
I just saved 15% or more on car insurance.
Sweet, it says I feed the dog.
feed the dog feed me.
It's man's best friend.
Oh, it looks like a German Shepherd.
See?
Very cute.
It was German?
I mean, Russians and Germans have always had a problem.
With the Russians.
No Russian on my property now.
Shot in the eye.
Right.
I spice it up with lead.
And ground pepper.
Ground pepper and lead.
Oh, Christ.
$100 bill, make it extra
His
crispy.
bail was set to $1 million.
Damn.
American dollars or Russian dollars?
Jesus Christ, that's America.
I mean, if he's burning hundreds,
You said 100 million?
His bail is set to $1 million.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was how. I was like, that's the price for the rotisserie they caught him with?
All right, you want to take your break, honey?
Yeah.
I'll press pause because I like you reading news articles.
He looks crazy.
I got 3 glasses, Jack. Man.
Sound like a good chef, too.
And we're pausing now. This one's close to my heart.
Nevada allows brothels to reopen after a year with new protection in place.
What kind of protection?
So happy.
Condom-like protection?
The Moonlight Bunny Ranch brothel is seen in Lyon County, east of Carson City, Nevada. Sex workers will need to use face masks and temperature checks as part of their routines.
Is it an anal one? Like, let's take a temperature the old way. Ooh! Can I take theirs too?
Let's see. Nevada brothels have started to reopen with counties that allow legal sex work resuming operation after Governor Steve Sisolak devolved responsibility of some coronavirus guidance to individual counties on May 1st. The state legalized prostitution in brothels, but only certain counties allow brothels within their borders. State law bans brothels in counties that have more than 700,000 inhabitants. Sex workers struggle to support themselves after businesses closed down during the pandemic, and they are eager to return to work, even with precautions in place.
I bet they are.
They were having withdrawals.
I'm really excited, Alice Little, a sex worker, told the Nevada Independent. It's
Alice
well overdue.
Little.
I'm so eager to be back in that space, to be able to see people again. And fuck them.
I mean, yeah, until her little personal space is
right.
stretched open.
Damn.
Many sex workers have struggled to support themselves throughout this situation, and to be able to get back to the careers that we know and love, it feels really good.
I wouldn't say
Inside
love.
Sure
and
it does.
Was it?
Oh, it feels really good inside and out.
I bet it does. Until they have a problem pooping. Like, my ass hurts because he was obsessed with stretching it wider and wider. Like, bitch, I paid you your money. You shut the fuck up.
At least she ain't complaining about constipation anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Jesus Christ.
Little protested the closure of brothels last year when other businesses were allowed to open over the summer. She even sued Sisolak, but the lawsuit was dismissed. With vaccinations widely available, safety is more assured. Some sex workers believe that the business will return, but they aren't taking chances and plan to offer deals that entice more hesitant customers through the door. I want to get people to visit, so there will be a discount for my services for the first week, Kiki Lover, a sex worker who chose to identify by her stage name, told the Reno Gazette-Journal. I'm so excited to get back to work and want people to be excited about returning too. Lover believes that sex workers will be able to handle any new safety measures required by the state.
Bet they will. I bet they will. Kiki Lover likes to take 3 cocks in a single hole. She got you covered.
We have to wear masks when we're in the parlor. We have to wear masks when the customers come in. They have to...
Sorry.
My bad. My bad,
But
Salena.
not, like, spitting on it in a dude's mouth is really gonna fucking make all the difference, right? I wear a mask when I pull it down, spit in his face, pull it back up. COVID averted.
I hope you got your vaccine.
They have to get their temperature checked and stuff like that, Lover explained. Wearing a mask in our room is up to the individual lady because there are a few things we can't do with a mask on. Obviously.
Breathe properly when you're toying yourself while the guy's just like, COVID, 6 feet.
Lyon County, which allows brothels to operate within its borders, greenlit a plan to allow all businesses not designated by a state regulatory board to operate at full capacity beginning in May. I bet they do.
I bet they will be at full capacity. You have how many holes? Well, good thing my frat's with me.
The Board of Commissioners approved the plan that removes limitations to large indoor or outdoor gatherings, open businesses up to 100% occupancy, and authorities that brothels can open May 1st.
Preferably large for them.
Manager.
Well, apparently all their boyfriends while they were
Interesting.
home not getting paid
Interesting.
weren't good enough for them.
Jeez.
I wonder if they're considered independent contractors.
Yeah. There's no union.
Wonder
for
if
them
there's
guys.
guy bunnies there.
No. I've seen that many a
wanna know
documentary
now.
on the Bunny Ranch. There's no dudes except for one guy who dates multiple of these girls and fucks them at a time.
Oh, but you
I wonder
can't.
how many
much does he
monster
cost?
drinks
I
he
wanna-
got in collection.
No. You're looking at like a month's worth of pay for how much time? That's like $500+ for like 1 hour. They charge you differently for what you want to do. And I'm like, what if I want to be Jack the Ripper? What if I want to just end you?
Well, I know there's
Is he drunk for that?
like sex doll brothels now. I think the first one opened up in
Really?
Canada.
You
But they
serious?
can't be
Yeah.
under a certain height because then they're mistaken for children.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But,
sex dolls cannot be under a certain height because then they look like children.
Yeah.
And it's...
Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a sex doll brothel.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Because people who make the dolls, they can't make them under a certain height because they
They
say that
look
it
really
looks
real kind
crazily
of.
like a child,
Oh,
and
Wow.
they don't want to
Really
put out the
real
wrong
kinda.
message. Yeah,
Holy shit.
some of them do.
But yeah, I was reading it, and some of their excuses, like one of the guys said that his like wife is sick and in chemo, so he'll go to the sex doll brothel, so he's not really physically like coming-
Infidelis.
Yeah, but he still gets to.
Well,
I'm here for my usual 2
I mean,
p.m. The
that
one with the kung
makes
fu grip.
sense, because if
Thank
a
you.
girl, if a female has a boyfriend or a husband and they use a dildo or vibrator, wouldn't that technically be cheating? Because that's another dick.
It's like a human-looking fleshlight. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That the both of them would be cheating.
Chris is like,
if you
yeah.
think about- He's like,
I'm too-
I have-
I'm too
I have
high-
a-
I've been
I'm too high for
cheating.
this.
I'm a professional fleshlight.
Jedi Knights with an on-off switch.
Yeah.
I do like flashlights.
What do you need for your service?
They're really
I'm your
expensive too. I
father.
think like really good ones
For
are,
3
like, at
hours.
least, like around $8,000
Holy shit.
for like a really good
Goddamn.
one that feels real, and like you can customize it: the skin color, eye color, hair color, breast size,
know,
butt size.
Sound like a real life RPG.
You know,
I could customize my clients.
I made a joke to people. Instead of OnlyFans, either one, I'll use Google, or two, I'll just go to a strip club, because then at least I could feel the chick on my lap, like, yeah. And then of course I got kicked out of DeCarlos because I had 2 chicks. One came out with a fucking horsetail butt plug on, the other one was spanking her, and I'm like, shit, the things people will do if you just offer them a little extra money. And I was proud of that too. I'm like, I got kicked out of this place because I pretty much made 2 girls do a sex act.
But it was bringing money in. What was the problem?
Oh my god. Dudes were going up to that stage with fistfuls of like 1s and 5s, just like... I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I didn't put any money down there. I was like, fuck that. I just wanted to see if they do it. And they did.
What I thought
Oh.
was really funny too were the reviews for the sex dolls and stuff.
Oh god.
Some guy was like, "Why date a real woman when I get to come home to a big blusty blonde in my bed every night?"
Damn.
Which he probably never washes. And
So now it makes sense why we
ain't.
ain't heard much about Barbies anymore. They transitioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbie's.
So that's where Barbie went.
Yeah.
They do kind of look a little anime, I guess, but for the most part, realistic.
But at a distance, some of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the way they pose them too.
Yeah.
Woo, pretty hot.
Mm.
Can't tell a difference in certain.
Now all we need is
Hot and
sex
plastic.
robots, and fucking nobody's gonna be having kids anymore.
God.
We go extinct. Everybody's happy. No, it's been studied that less kids are being born every year because of the mass amount of sex toys out there, and with so many women claiming to be...
Yeah, that's Japan. More people are dying than being born in
Yeah,
Japan.
well, also, men
sad.
and women claiming to be feminist. Women don't want to date a feminist man, and men don't want to date a feminist woman. Therefore, a lot of people aren't dating. Nobody's having kids.
Yeah, this is what I hear about, like,
Wow.
women, you know, fucking other women, basically. When you have, like, when you can get a prosthetic dick at any size you want, that's, like, a pretty big edge over, like...
But there's one thing that those prosthetic things don't have. The blood flowing.
I mean,
right.
we have sex dolls now,
Yeah,
so I'm
but-
pretty sure they'll have
I'm
breathing penises soon.
Oh my
I'm pretty
God,
sure
yeah.
Chris would be like, yeah, the real thing.
Veiny ones where you can see the vein move and stuff.
Destroyed fleshlight. Like, no, Selena's far different feeling than this. Like, why? One, she's wet and warm, and that thing is just like, I know it's plastic and sad and desperate. Oh, fleshlight, I love it.
The thing about the sex dolls is the reviews, they say it feels real. It feels just as real. They have warmers, but you have to pay extra for the warmers.
Holy
And
shit.
Yeah, and then it's next thing you know, someone's got a 3rd-degree burn on their dick. Oh my God!
they say you have to like warm it up. You have to you have to turn it on and wait a little. You can't go like right in. You have to wait
Red
for it to
alert,
warm
red
up.
alert.
Foreplay with the.
What is the thing gonna do? He's gonna be like, Miss, can you please say those lines into this phone recorder for me? Yes, please, harder, senpai. Oh God!
Yep, that's the next step to get them to talk back to
Yeah.
you too.
Oh my God.
Talk around and become self-aware.
We're
I
all
can't
fucking-
take this shit.
That's gonna be
Chris,
Rick and Morty.
Who's Lorena Bobbitt?
She was a woman mad because she didn't have a penis, so she tried to take her husband's, and it didn't work out too well.
I actually was in a band with a cousin of Lorena Bobbitt.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She doesn't like talk about it often unless you bring it up, which like, you know, it came across and she's like, can you guys, that I'm actually related to her, and it was very
Like, we're gonna change our name to the Dick Smashers.
and she's like, it's really weird. It's really
The
weird
hardest
to talk about
death
her.
metal band
She's
ever known.
my family.
We're gonna be
But-
so
Wow.
hard.
Like, does it run in the family? She's like, yes, it does.
Wait a minute, what runs in the family?
Cutting dicks.
Yeah, she showed me her mass dick grave, and I'm just kidding.
No, that was probably her going
Goddamn.
through dildos every couple of weeks because she just used them too much. They say you're supposed to let them recover, but I'm like, bitch, no, you're here all night. I'm like, my man takes time to reload, but you don't. You're just like your sister, you're a crazy bitch. Crazy.
Speaking of dick, I heard this weird extraterrestrial. Well, I watched an extraterrestrial interview about a guy who claimed he was raped by extraterrestrials.
What? Where the hell did this come from?
I watched it on YouTube.
This shit went dark fast.
So you know,
Yeah.
so we're talking about penises.
It all started
What?
with those dirty hooas.
He said he wakes up and he sees like two really tall, pale, naked women. They like look beautiful, but they look weird.
Yeah.
Like they don't look normal, even though they look conventionally attractive. And they're kind of talking telepathically, and one of them gets like on top of him and like I guess sticks her hand in. I forget the story completely, but he gets so scared that he bites her. He bites like a piece of her breast off or something, or just bites a piece of her skin off, and it tastes. He said, just tastes like really rubbery and weird. It was a weird texture. And then one of them said this wasn't supposed to happen, so he ended up just like passing out. And then he said he wakes up to a piece of hair embedded in his dick. And it was so painful to pull out. He said it was the worst pain in his life. So after he pulled this hair out of his dick, he went to go get it tested. And apparently, like, the DNA is some, like, old-ass DNA. Like, apparently, like, we can only be descended from, like, 7 women. They can only go far back into 7 different women and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, one of those, like, hairs. It was, like, such rare DNA. That, and he found it on his dick after he got sexually assaulted.
Pretty much, he's telling us about his crazy night where he went to a club and men dressed in rubber suits Fuck them.
That could be the case too.
I mean, it sounds out there.
I just thought it was interesting. I mean, they did a whole news thing. They're interviewing his neighbors and shit.
Man comes out because aliens fuck him and he likes it. And there was a hair in his penis. News at 11.
The end.
Russian man eats dog too. You're gonna want to stick around.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes. I think about that guy, and I wonder how his dick's doing.
Like, man, did he ever have more hairs in his pee hole?
It's going to therapy. That's how it's doing.
Surprise! It was his roommates the whole time.
And just a really bad ingrown hair.
That was a lot of rough fucking.
Jesus.
Ingrown.
Live at 5.
Uh-huh.
Ron Burgundy.
You funny? Is there any more?
Oh, you want me to keep?
No, is there any more funny? I'm kind of burnt out. So,
Twitter.
and if that's funny, because I'm ready to wrap it up whenever you are.
Oh, I got something that'll fuck everybody's mind up. Did you know that these crazy bitches? Some woman out there is going to get mad because I'm calling them crazy bitches. These bitches are literally making silicone dicks and vaginas for little transgender kids to wear or put in their underwear. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Little
That's
miniature dicks for little girls to put in their pants to kind of wear or get
extreme.
Yeah. Or they knit them too out of yarn for little kids to put in their underwear so that little girls can be like, I'm a boy, and little boys can be like, look, I have a little vagina. I'm like, okay, I have two problems with this. This is what I was talking about in the car. Gender and sex are separate, but you're so obsessed with little children's genitalia that you're going to sell them silicone or yarn genitals for them to put in their underwear.
With, yeah.
I'm like, and plus, we already have silicone genitalia. They're called sex toys.
Yeah.
You're selling sex toys to kids, you fucking pedophiles.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
Right.
And I'm like, please, somebody tell me I'm having a bad dream. Please, somebody tell me I ate like a bad food and I'm just tripping balls. And nope, it was real. And I just sat there like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
It is weird. And then they have, the inappropriate baby books.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure are supposed to
Daddy
be for
dressed
adults.
me up as
but
a girl.
They literally just look like a children's book, just the words are sexualized.
Yeah. These are the same people who think they're so progressive they sexualize children and wonder why people don't want children around them. Like I said, the only people who need to worry about a child's body are the fucking parents and that child to keep it clean and make sure nothing is horrifically wrong. But it's sad when people around the world are like, well, your son has a penis at like 4 years old. You need to chop it off. Like, whoa, bitch. Calm the fuck down. That's a kid, you pedo. People need to start calling out this child abuse and this
because it's perverted to an extent.
It is. We do not need to. Did you guys hear about that little boy who was stripping for those grown gay men at a club? Yeah, he was stripping, and they were throwing $1 bills on him while he's on stage taking off his clothes.
How old is he?
10 or less.
Oh my god.
And now I think he's a YouTube star because RuPaul backed him up. I'm like, well, fuck you, RuPaul. Like, you support little children stripping for grown-ass adults. Like, you're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, there's definitely has to be limits and stuff. But that's like me. It's so overly sexualized that I feel like it's getting normalized to the point where it's perpetuated on children. And just, I don't know.
Hollywood really pushed that shit, and Hollywood still pushes that shit where they got to put these messages in games, TV shows, and everything.
It's for kids. That's why Megan Thee Stallion, don't get me wrong, I like her music, but her music video, Crybaby, literally takes place in a toy store. And it's a transgender man playing with dolls, but he's an adult. And he's playing with dolls, and then he leaves the store, and it's like a Toy Story type of vibe where the toys are to life and Megan is a doll. I'm like, who is gonna watch that besides like kids? Like, kids are gonna freaking love that, and they're gonna want to copy it. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
why there's an issue with TikTok with a lot of underage girls twerking, rubbing their genitalia and tits on the video. I'm like, dude, this is child porn, because if kids send nude pics of themselves now, they have to register as sex offenders, which I'm fucking thankful. I'm happy for. Because one girl sent pictures of herself to somebody, and she had to register as a sex offender because she was only 15. And in that state, you had to be a certain age. She wasn't. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking disgusting. Ooh, kids will be kids. I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
If we're all like, boys will be boys is terrible, then if girls do it, it's just as bad. You don't.
They all have to be held accountable for
course,
their actions. But it's also like, yeah, the parents shouldn't let them watch stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
But parents, especially during this pandemic, parents don't care. They're like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Here's a tablet. Here's a phone. Fuck off.
yeah, that's what sucks. My niece, she loves this YouTube puppet called, I think, Jeffrey. And he's very inappropriate. And he is, like, disabled, like, mentally retarded or
You mean
whatever.
Jeffy the dog? His father's supposed to be Mario
Yeah.
and shit? Yeah.
Very vulgar, abusive language, just completely, like, I don't know, just making fun of retarded people. I forget,
I think kids should be kids and they should keep their imagination, but they need to stay away from adult stuff. Because even for some adults, adult stuff is just too crazy.
It is for adults, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish she would stop watching. As she's getting older, she's watching other things and that aren't as bad. But she had a stage where she was obsessed with this puppet, and he was horrible. He was worse than Crank Yankers. Like, I would have rather have her watch Crank Yankers.
That's sad too, because Crank Yankers is real.
Was
fucking
crazy. Yeah.
World's
Yeah.
fucked up, man.
Everything's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Hey, well, we did a good hour 30 if you guys are ready to go home. Actually, I'm hungry now because,
I'm hungry as fuck.
I'm running on Starburst and beer and wine.
But no,
And latte.
But no, I'd rather honestly have a short 1 hour and a half that we had a bunch of fun with versus like 2.5 hours where we start getting bored and shit. So hey,
Yeah.
we did hour and a half, talked about a lot of stuff, and everybody here was laughing at some point. So
No, yeah, I was like miserable today, but this podcast made me feel better. So
and it was good, like having. If I get too drunk, you can read my news stories.
okay, or too high.
Yeah, I'm both.
I'm both right now. Got me talking about my life.
As always, guys, hey, thanks for after a year. It's episode 57 or some shit, and hey, I just got a fucking bonus check. So with my bonus check, I don't need people's money, nor do I want it, and I'm out, and everyone else can say their goodbyes.
Peace to the Middle East.
I have a new accent now. I go Russian, I go hard.
My name is Knuckles.
You
do not know the way.
Oh, that was fun.
Are you good, Lewis?
You did not know the way I spit on you.
Okay. So hopefully we can get consistent people down here, but until then we'll just be freestyling it with who we got left.
Well, I said I'm
Black
always
and I'm proud.
Yeah.
down.
All right. Good night.
Shut up.
Chill out.
Rolling.